Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is What Businesses Need to Know Right Now. I'm Nettie Owens, your host and guide in this conversation and CEO of Sapari Group. You can check that out, saparigroup.com. I have with me Les Watson of Get More Time. This particular run of interviews that we have coming up are all about time and productivity. So I hope you'll join us today and for the ones that come up in the future. Welcome, Les. It's so good to have you here.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Nettie. It's
being
great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
excellent. I'm excited to dive into this conversation. It's fun to talk to other nerds about productivity and time and all of those kinds of things. Um, it's going to be just like hanging out at the coffee shop, basically, and talking shop. So to give you a little bit of a perspective, Les has a passion for and expertise in time management and productivity, which has earned him the fabulous nickname of the Time Lord, which we were just talking about because I love Doctor Who, so I had to find out if it was a Doctor Who reference, and he's going to answer that for you in just a minute. And he's worked extensively throughout Australia and Southeast Asia, delivering dynamic training programs to major corporations, small businesses, and individuals over the last 30 years as a trainer, speaker, and facilitator in self-management, motivation, and communication. Welcome.
Lovely. Nice to be here. The reference to the Time Lord came as a Christian. It was just that thing of a business card. How do we do business card? Is it the owner? Is it the manager? Is it the general manager? And we, as Christians, we were just about to go to bed and we looked up to the Lord and went, it's got to have something to do with time, Lord. And we just laughed ourselves silly. That's the whole thing of Time Lord. It's got to be Time Lord. Forget general manager, just Time Lord. And it's a bit of a joke. It's a bit of fun. It's the guy that looks after time. So that's where it comes from.
Excellent. I love it because I think it's fantastic that you took that moment to pause and ask like just that, and then had this fantastic silly moment where it all came together.
Yeah.
So let's jump in here. Let's talk about prioritization as we talk about what businesses need to know about time management and productivity, because that gets right to the root of it. I mean, if we want to dive into the deep end. So how do we do this? How do we prioritize when everything seems like the most important thing on the list?
There are two ways of doing it. One is with Eisenhower's matrix, and it's the important versus urgent. And it tends to go fairly cerebral on that one. So I bring it down to a basic A's and B's. A's must get done today. B's can get done later. Because we've got a time frame of today. And what depicts an A, it must get done today. If it doesn't get done today, the brown smelly stuff is going to hit the round twirly thing. So it's like, you're going to lose a contract, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose face, you're going to lose a client, those sorts of things. So it must get done today. That becomes an A, and anything else becomes a B. Will some of the B's turn into A's tomorrow? Yes, and that's okay, because there are timeframes on today. If you're anything like me, there have been times in one's life where you put your head on another pillow thing. You put your head on the pillow and you go, that was a great day. Oh no, I haven't paid that bill. And you got to get up and go to the computer and fire it up and pay the bill, because at 9 o'clock at night and you had 3 hours, but if you don't pay it in that 3 hours, it costs you an extra $150. Based on that, you need to pay it now. So based on all of that, do what you need to do as an A, do it early. Do as early as you can. Get it out of the road. You know you need to pay the bill anyway. It's like, oh, but I don't want to pay it. It's like, yeah, get it over and done with. Pay the bill, get on with life. Because as you do the hard things, you can then go on and go, oh, that wasn't so bad. And you can go on with your life, as opposed to this, dragging this A around with you. It's like, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. It doesn't work like that. It drains your energy. Get them out of the road, and then the rest of the day can be free as a lark.
I love that. And I have absolutely experienced that feeling of like, oh, I should do that, but I don't want to. And then I put it off. And then it just you can't be creative. You can't make other decisions because it just really weighs you down energetically. So thank you for that. And simple, it's simple, whatever has to get done today. So I'm going to play a bit of the devil's advocate here because
Go on.
I know that sometimes we don't always make the best decisions about what we need to do in general, and then we're prioritizing the wrong stuff. Any thoughts around that?
I have a leadership model. Um, in my time management and productivity all comes down to leadership and discipline. But the leadership model looks at your purpose.
Hmm.
Now, it took me 50 years to find my purpose. So if you want to do a session on finding your purpose, I really recommend it, and happy to jump in, and I'll give you a link later on about how to do that. But if you can link it to your purpose, everything lines up. So my purpose is to bring life. Now,
Hmm.
bring life in my family, bring life in general, bring life in work, bring life when I'm networking, when I'm training. It's to bring life. The question on the table for yourself and for everyone is, what's your purpose? Because if you can find your purpose, you're laying in bed, another bed reference. I've got to get out of these bed references.
Apparently, you sleep a lot. I mean, I think
Oh,
that's what I'm learning.
however, you're in bed and you kind of go, do I get up or don't I get up? Your purpose drags you out. It's like, I'm here to bring life, and I'm not going to do that in bed. Therefore, get out of bed, Les. And it just bang, I'm out. It's like, how do I bring life today? Let's go.
Hmm.
So it enables you to prioritize according to the purpose and what's most important in the moment, in the day, in the week, so that it all lines up. If you don't
Hmm.
know your purpose, you're a bit at hither and yon, and a bit at sea with it. So what are you trying to do? So from your purpose, you come down to goals. Goals come down to projects, and those projects give you tasks. So if it trickles down, you can line up your actions in the moment with the projects you've got on, or the tasks and the projects and the goals.
Excellent. And yes, absolutely. Without that guiding star, that purpose, then it becomes nearly impossible to pick
Yep.
what you would prioritize around. So, okay, we're going along and we're doing the thing, and we have our decision about what we're going to prioritize on, and interruption. What do we do?
Okay, so first of all, boundaries, Nettie, boundaries. It's all about boundaries. It's about someone comes up and goes, "Have you got 5 minutes?" You do have the option of saying no. You can say, "Well, what have you got? That's not going to work for me. Come and see me at 3 o'clock. Let's do it tomorrow." Those sorts of things. Those boundaries, sometimes we don't want to say no to people. So I'm really encouraging people to say no in a really nice way. Nettie, that's great. Can we take it up tomorrow? I'm just working on one of my A's right now. And if you have a communication and training and get me in for training, what happens is people tend to know the language. So if you say you're working on an A, then people will understand. So they go, oh, okay, I'll go and find somebody else because it's urgent. Or they go, yep, let's do it tomorrow. So boundaries are really important to have. It's not about pushing other people away. It's not about being mean. It's about looking after your own time, because I'm sure there are those of us that have got to the point of, oh, it's 5 o'clock and I haven't got my work because of so many interruptions.
It's so true. And really, boundaries are just really clear communication. It's just being very clear about your purpose, your priorities, your goals in a way that other people can support you. Oftentimes, as you said, we feel like it's pushing people away, but people can be more involved and supportive. And we enable people to be agents of change for themselves when we have clear boundaries. So they're just, I
Nice.
think they're a wonderful thing. They're definitely not a dirty word. And should be utilized liberally.
Yes.
All right, last thing, because this becomes an interruption, and it becomes something that we maybe have difficulty prioritizing around, and that's email. So how do we become masters of our email?
I can do half an hour on this. I'm going to do it in 30 seconds.
Okay, go.
And the 4R, as an email comes in, Do, dump, delegate, and decide when. If you can do it in 2 minutes, do it. If it's spam, then delete it. It's one of the most underused keys on the keyboard is the delete key. And if you want to archive it, that's another dump called get it out of your inbox and archive it off. The other one is if it's not yours and you need to delegate it to somebody, delegate it and delegate it nicely with clear time frames and so get agreement with it. So delegate it nicely. Just don't slip it to somebody. And the last one is if you can't do it within 2 minutes, decide when you're going to do it, diarize it, stick it in your calendar. So there's a little alarm that goes, oh, you've got an appointment with yourself to do that one that takes longer than 2 minutes. So those 4 things: do, dump, delegate, and decide when. That will handle your email and get to that thing called inbox zero. But that's another topic for another time.
Oh my gosh, you're right. We could just have a day about inbox zero, and that would be fun. I love you're pulling in that concept from David Allen, just that 2 minutes, and getting off off of your to-dos. And there's so many integrations nowadays with email that you can connect your calendar, your task list right into your email. I highly recommend that you do that so that you can very easily move it onto your calendar when you need to decide when. Thank you so much for those ideas. And it's been such a pleasure having you here, Les. If you've enjoyed this conversation, I would encourage you to subscribe so that you can see whenever we have interviews like this coming up. And I just want to share with you as well, I have a guide here, How to Succeed in Business, the Proven Path to Business Success for High Achievers. If you'd like to pick it up, all you have to do, super simple, grab your phone and text the word freedom to 411321. I'll send you that guide and you can look and see how you stack up against those principles. If you have loved what Les has brought to the conversation here today, I have. He's got more for you, and tell us, Les, how can they get more? More
The
of Les? Okay, that's a moment. Yeah, we have it. Go ahead.
getmoretime.com.au/podcast.
Okay,
And all their freebies on there. There's 15 minutes free with me. There's a couple of things in there that are really nice, but go there, have a look. If something, just put your name in, and I'm happy to give away some stuff. Happy to be in touch. Happy to have a conversation.
excellent. Well, please do check out what he is offering, and I know all of us in some way could improve what we're doing. So I'll be heading over there to see what I can pick up. Thank you so much for being here, Les. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing the rest of you in the next interview. Take care.
Bye.